Okay, we do have a quorum, so if you want, I'll go ahead and get started. And I'm going to do my part relatively quickly because I also keep notes and this is going to be difficult. So maybe Laura, if you can jot down motions in seconds until I would hand things over. So call to order at 6:02 p.m. Hi, everyone. My name is Robin Vitek. I am the director of Mount Lebanon Public Library and the staff liaison for the Community Relations Board. It is not typically my role to lead this meeting, and I won't be doing it for more than a few minutes. So my first order of business is to welcome our new members, and that is Dave Bloss and Joelle Schultz. So I'm just going to ask you both to introduce yourselves and anything you would like to say about your time in the community, your families, your job, whatever you want to talk about, your favorite food.
Sure, I can go first. Yeah, my name is David Bloss. I've been in the Mount Lebanon community 5-6 years. My wife teaches at Mellon. My kids go to Washington. We live in Foster because my daughter has special needs. And the school over here provides that the classroom that she needs. Work, I'm in healthcare. I'm in senior project program management. I work for Health Plan out in Boston. Do a lot of work around SDOH, diversity, equity, inclusion. So yeah, that's it.
And I'm Joelle Schultz. I've been here at least 20 years now. I have 5 kids. My oldest is now at Duquesne. He graduated last year. My youngest is seven-year-old, second grade at Washington. And I've got him in Mellon and high school and all in between. I work for a company called Custom Ink. I recently started there. I am starting up a contracts program for that company. I love it so far. Prior to that, I worked in data contracts, facilitating prescriptions and medical records electronically between hospitals and pharmacies. And
well, on behalf of the entire board, I'd just like to say welcome. Thank you for being here. We're really excited to have some new faces and new ideas to bring to the board. Okay, so the most important thing we're going to do today. Oh, there's Leo. Good, how are you? Good. Okay. The most important thing we are going to do today is vote in our new officers. And I wanted to try to do this as anonymously as possible. So I'm using a website called Mentimeter. So let's see. This is going to allow the people in the room and the people on Zoom to vote using the same thing. So let me see. It's been a while since I've done this. So where's screen share?
right in the middle.
Oh, the big green one. Like, why would I see that? Right? Okay, so let's see. Do I need to make this a separate tab?
Oh, probably.
Will you Mentimeter? Pull up one. Is it?
Well, I have it up on a tab, but I'm thinking.
Go to Zoom.
But it's there.
Google.
And now I can't.
Oh, you can just move it. You should be able to move that.
You can only show the browser. Unless it's a
There we go.
desktop.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, you can move it down even.
If I can get that
Scroll
thing
like
to go away.
close to it. There you go.
There you go. Sneak up there and okay. Okay, so let's see. So for this, I'm sorry, there are 2 tabs. Wait, don't do anything yet.
Don't worry.
Don't do this. I haven't used this for a while. Okay, there we go. Okay, all those of you who are eligible to vote, which means all elected or appointed CRB members, go to menti.com on your phones or laptops and use the code at the top, which we can't see, can't we?
You can X out that notification that's in there. That'll help get that off the screen.
It doesn't though, because it's all the way up at the top. And this stupid thing is in the way.
Dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
you
can
can
drag
drag it down or away from, you know.
The code is 55698090.
Thank
Oh,
you.
didn't see it.
55698090.
Thank you.
Very DJ voice.
I know.
Roll that. What was it, last three?
I don't remember.
55698090.
Thank you.
It was go.
Okay, it appears as though there are 9 of you that are able to vote. So once I get to 9, I will switch.
We were just having a really hard time. We can access the survey
You can't access it.
using the link, right? And it's
You went to menti.com and it asked you for the code.
I didn't hear the I said, it's just struggling.
Angry at you.
55698090.
good.
Okay, great. So that has Noah Evans unanimously as our chair. Noah, I will wait to let you take over as soon as the voting is done. We have
Sure,
two-
thank you.
we have to figure out how to advance the slide. Not working as well as I would have liked it to. For the person watching from the public, I'm usually much smoother about things. Or at least I like to think I am.
We're not judging you.
We're not.
Okay, this is for the vice chair, and it is the same, same code, 55698090. Okay, Adam, you are vice chair. Congratulations. And so I was telling them before this started, if I want more than 2 slides on a single presentation, I have to pay for like $200 for the year, and it's too cheap to do that. So I literally haven't used this in like 5 years. So it did not seem worthwhile to me. So I just made a second slide for the second vice chair. And this is a, this is not something that's in our bylaws, but we decided in the absence of a chair and a vice chair, it would be a good idea to appoint someone that's able to just lead the meetings. So that is what this person is going to be doing. Okay.
You need the code?
Yeah, is it a different code?
Yeah, it's 62369484. 62369484.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
9484. Well, and Dave, I know you don't know anyone in the room, so it's a little. Okay, and that gives us Olivia as our second vice chair. And I will stop this. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Okay, so our official slate of officers is Chair Noah Evans, Vice Chair Adam Flango, Second Vice Chair Olivia Macindo. And at this time, I will turn over to Noah the meeting, and you can just make your way down the agenda.
Great, thank you very much. So thank you. I appreciate your trust in this responsibility, and I know that Joelle and David introduced themselves, but for their sake, can we all go around and introduce ourselves as well? And so just share something about yourself, how long you've been on the CRB, and also one thing that excites you about our work together. And I'm just going to call on the people on Zoom. Okay. So
I can model it for everybody.
Okay. Adam, if you could go first.
Sure thing. Hi, everybody. Especially welcome to our new members. I'm excited to have you on board. My name is Adam Flango. I've been in Mount Lebanon since about 2019, and I live on Ray Avenue down the hill from the high school with my wife, and in 3 weeks will be Mount Lebanon's newest resident. So my wife's, so we're very excited about that. And I have been on the board. I was part of the DEI ad hoc committee, which started in, I believe, at the end of 2020 and beginning of 2021. And I have been a CRB member since the close of that committee, more or less. And in 2022, I became a CRB member. And what excites me most about this work is seeing the progress that it can happen if you have enough persistence and patience. The survey that you may have seen go out from Ascend Lebo recently, it's the latest iteration of what's been an ongoing community survey, now has demographic data in across all of the survey components, and as well as has some specific questions related to community engagement, and I think will really give us a better effort to a better idea of how welcoming our community is, and to who feels welcome within our community, which was one of the things that was part of our DEI ad hoc committee that we were charged with kind of figuring out. And one of the things that we recommended back at the end of 2021 was this survey. So to see it actually come to fruition in a format that I think is going to do a lot of good for our community has been really very exciting for me. So and I think it's a testament to a lot of the work from people on this community relations board and the people as well that were on the DEI ad hoc committee that are not on the board currently. So that very much excites me, but I'll pass it over to Leah to see what excites her.
Hi, everyone. I'm Leah Lahota. I have been on the board, I think, for 2 years now. I think I have a year left. And I live by the Lincoln Elementary School area. We've been here since 2013. Seems like the years are just flying by. I have 3 kids, one that will be starting high school soon, and then a middle schooler and an elementary school. What excited me so much about this board was the DEI work. Kind of like what Adam was saying, I wasn't on the ad hoc, but I kind of did help with some of the ad hoc work, and just seeing that it's like really coming together nicely. We have a lot more to go, but at least it's starting. So that's the good thing about it. So nice to meet everyone.
Margaret, can you go next?
She's online.
Okay.
Margaret, actually,
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, so I've been on the CRB for 3 years, and I've lived in Mount Lebanon for 23 years. I'm on Woodhaven, and I have 2 kids who graduated from Mount Lebanon High School. And I was the vice chair last year, and I guess one of my biggest roles is I am the community mediator. So if there's neighbors who have, you know, a dispute about aspects of their properties, they're typically adjoining, I try to help out and come up with a good solution. So right now we have one issue pending, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more as the weather gets nicer and people are outside. And I will like to welcome the new member to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. And starting in the room, Stephanie, can you start?
Sure. I'm Stephanie Fedro Byram. I have been on the CRB since a year ago, April, and I was also on the DEI ad hoc committee prior to that on the events subcommittee. I live on Park Entrance Drive. I have a senior, a sophomore, and a kindergartner. And see, oh, I work at the University of Pittsburgh in research. And what excites me about the work is, I think like Adam, that slowly but surely the DEI work is starting to happen. And I'm really excited about it. The events piece, I think we'll get there. That's, you know, just doing some different celebrations of diversity in our community. And yeah.
I've already introduced ourselves.
And
Hi, I'm Ann Sawyer Wilson. I'm the commission liaison to the CRB. I've lived in Mount Lebanon for 43 years. I have 3 grown children and 2 grandchildren ages 6 and 4. I've only been on the commission since October, but I've done stuff in Mount Lebanon for many, many, many years, mainly in the built environment. My background is architecture and design and city planning, so I'm much more familiar with buildings than people. What excites me about the Community Relations Board, I am charged up about the DEI work. It's very interesting when you go around campaigning, which I'm in the middle of doing, talking to people, you'll hear a number of people say, well, I think the community is just right the way it is. And there's probably a little too much emphasis on this DEI stuff. And my stock answer now is, you know, it's a lot less about you and a lot more about the people we're trying to attract to Mount Lebanon. If you want to sell your house someday, you need to be thinking about what people who are moving into the community want, and they want more diversity. And it does seem to shut everybody up. So I don't know. But it's thank you. Yeah, so staying with that one, right?
Yeah, so hi, everyone, and welcome, Joelle. Dave, nice meeting you. We need more, you know, volunteers to the mission. So my name is Lívia Macedo, and I moved from Brazil, São Paulo, to Pittsburgh in 2003. And I moved to Mount Lebanon in 2004. And I have 2 daughters, both in high school. Isabel is a senior, Isadora is a sophomore. And we moved back to Brazil and decided that our community was here. So we're boomerangs. Yes, so in Brazil, I work with public policy in the city of São Paulo with indigenous communities and also psychiatric communities, you know, a group of healthcare workers in the communities that were moving from one place to another. So I had my experience there. And also supporting House Bill legislators on creating better laws and policies to support public transportation and access to health benefits for underprivileged. So that was my life prior to Brazil, prior to Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh, I worked in special ed with the Watson Institute. So I work across 30 school districts in Southwestern PA before Waze. So I learned about the bridges and the ramps before. I remember printing out a 92-mile itinerary in the morning just to hit all the schools. And that's when I realized, you know, that beyond the green lawns, which for me, from my lens, I was like, they don't need help here. They have everything they need, all the resources they need. And once I started going to the schools, I realized the need for a qualified workforce, for partnerships across entities, for an agreement as far as what is the one goal we have here. It is the number, is the kid, is the family. So I got fascinated by that. And after that, 8 years working, training teachers and paraprofessionals, I moved back to Brazil to bring the wraparound services to Brazil, but the economy and the partners and the schools were not ready for that. So I moved back. And when I moved back, I decided to switch careers, and I started with executive assessment and talent management, which I work with companies, you know, across the time zones. And right now, that's what I'm doing an independent advisory for companies that want to improve their culture and create a better employee experience.
Great to have you both. Thanks for being here. I'm Terry Kim. I work as a local church pastor. I do leadership coaching and organizational culture work. I've lived in Mount Lebanon since 1994, and you've been
I've got to be.
My wife and I, we have 4 adult children, 4 grandchildren, all of which live in Mount Lebanon.
Wow, that's better than me.
We're doing our part here. I was part of the ad hoc committee mapped onto this work whenever we all did, whenever that was. And I focused on police engagement, and I think what really I'm excited about our new chief and the openness that he has to our work and this initiative. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, and for Dave and Noel, so Adam, Stephanie, Terry, myself, and we're all from the same tenure. We started with the same DNI ad hoc, and we continue to work here.
Noah too.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yes, thank you, Noah. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm Jerron. I've been in Mount Lebanon for 3 years now. I'm on this committee for 2. I have no kids, so I'm finally finishing up my master's program. So I wanted to, as I told Robin, get more involved. Happy to see the DEI initiative. That's not something that I've seen in many places, but interested to get involved, interested to see where it goes and how it grows. So nice meeting everyone, and happy to have you both.
Right.
I'm not officially part of this group at all. My name is Laura Lilly. I'm the public information officer for Mount Lebanon and the editor of Mount Lebanon Magazine. So I'm just here because probably a good 75% of the work that you do touches my office in some way. So it just started to be easier for me just to be here than have everybody say, well, we'll check with Laura and then report back. So I'm really just here to help facilitate what you're doing. That's what excites me. I've worked here for, I came here in 2007. Before that, I was a reporter at the Post-Gazette. So my background is almost exclusively in journalism and media. Before that, I've lived here since 1994. I have a 22-year-old who's at college, and that's about it, I think.
Great, thank you. So I'll go last. I'm Noah Evans, and I've lived in Mount Lebanon for 6 years. I live on Woodhaven Drive. You'll notice Woodhaven Drive is overly represented on this committee. There's 3 of us there, and I have 2 kids, one at Mellon and one who's a sophomore in the high school. I also serve as the rector, the pastor of St. Paul's Episcopal Church on Washington Road, and I was on the DEI ad hoc committee like a number of you, and have been on the CRB for 1 year, and I'm really excited about the DEI work that we're doing together. One thing I've learned is that sometimes it seems that government moves slowly, but it does move. And so our work is, especially the DI work is definitely bearing fruit. And I'm deeply appreciative to the staff, and Anne has made a great contribution to this committee since she jumped on board just a few months ago. So I'm grateful that we're engaging in this work together. So thank you. So next, citizens' comments.
I haven't had anyone contact me, but we do have one attendee. So I'm going to unmute you, Dallas. If you have comments, you're welcome to make them. Otherwise, we will leave you alone and continue on with the meeting. So go ahead.
Need to unmute. Okay, now I lost my picture. Anyway, no, went through the Residence Academy. I've lived here 35 years, and my retirement coincided with all the lockdown. So I am now getting around to doing a retirement thing of visit all the committees and you know, see what's what and ask a lot of questions, etc. So thank you for having me.
Great.
Welcome, Dallas. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for attending our meeting. Is there a motion to approve the March 2023 minutes as presented?
I would just like to intercede that since the two of you were not here, if you would feel more comfortable abstaining from the vote, that's absolutely fine to do. It's up to you.
I'll motion to approve.
Adam moves. Is there a second? Terry second. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Great, they passed. Thank you. Administrative reports. So first of all, so I get to go first. It looks like. So I have a very collaborative leadership style, and so it's my goal to engage us all actively in our work together, and I hope that our committee meetings are lively and we all have things to share and present at them. And to help get us started, I'd love to have some time over the next month or maybe 2 months to have a one-on-one conversation with all of you. And so to do that, if you could email me times, it's my email's on all the emails that generally work for you, and then we can start setting up a time. It's noah@irwinevans.com. You could also text me. My cell is 412-584-1234, 412-584-1234. And when you text me, identify yourself. So I know. And that would I just love to hear what you're interested in. There's a lot of roles that we also need to, fulfill for the municipality, things like the Citizens Academy, and having people who want to work on those projects is important. So to be able to have just a conversation about what interests you and what excites you, and that can help us shape our work together. We have 1 year until the CRB is rolled into the new commission structure. So it's a time for us to really get some great work done in the final year of this manifestation of the municipal committee structure. So I hope to do that, and please be in touch. Any questions for me? Okay, Anne, you're next.
Okay. So I have several announcements for everybody. National Library Week is April 23rd through April 29th. So please share your love with the library staff. They're having a plant sale on May 13th from 10 to
3, I want to say.
Something. You can find it on the website, but it's a great event and it supports the library and it's native plants. So I might actually plant something this year, but I really do have a black thumb. It's really bad. It's terrible. My yard's the worst in the whole neighborhood. And I'm like, oh. Outreach, which is not really a partner with you, but is our mental health partner in Mount Lebanon, is having their gala fundraising event May 4th at the Renaissance Hotel. Starts at 6. Tickets online at Outreach. Ascend Lebo has 3 new surveys up. Please, please, please go fill them out. They're like 5 minutes each, I'd say. They do have the demographic data at the end. This is really, I can't underscore enough how important the comprehensive plan is. Whatever that comprehensive plan says is what's going to set the agenda for the commission for the next 10 years. So if you have things you need done, want done, think should be done, you really need to be in there voting for them. Because if we don't hear from you, our assumption is nobody cares about that. Why would we waste time on it? So please, Ascend Lebo. It's like 5 minutes in there, 3 surveys up. Commission is talking about really exciting things like road reconstruction and milling, stuff like that. You know, relining sewers. That's another one that really gets us jazzed up. We're still hoping to quickly pass a brick street policy. Probably sounds kind of nerdy, but it's one of our major historic assets and one of the most expensive to try to fix and maintain. So it has taken 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
2016.
Yeah, since 2016, we've been arguing about it because it's hugely expensive. So, you know, what do you take money from to do this versus that? Also a sidewalk policy, we're trying to loosen up how residents can get sidewalks on their streets and get them paid for. So that's coming under consideration. And of course, the new board structure. You guys will be rolling into the Public Engagement Committee. I'm a big fan of public engagement, obviously, here I sit. And I think it's going to be a good role for you guys. We will be taking a number of people from this committee to populate the new committee to keep, you know, things rolling along. So be thinking about that. Lebo Pride is coming up in June. Earth Day is April 29th, and I think
22nd, right? Oh, that's the
Earth Day is the 29th. Yeah. Earth Day, I'm sorry, you're right. Celebration is the okay. Yeah, Earth Day is actually April 22nd. Thank you, good catch. So there you have it. Questions, concerns, thoughts? Anybody want to know how to rebuild roads? How much they cost? Millions.
Is June 16th, Friday night, June 16th, and then Pride is the 7th.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. And I think there might be some info coming out in the magazine about both of those events.
Yeah, big, I mean, you know, let's show up, put our money where our mouth is, right? Isn't it? Or attendance where our mouth is, something like that. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you.
Sure.
Laura.
The only thing I wanted to add to your comments about the comp plan survey is Ian, the municipal planner and the team lead for this project. We've been poking in on the surveys to see how they're doing, make sure everything is going okay. I did want to say that the diversity of the respondents is unclear. We're not getting a lot of people answering those questions, and the ones who have are not diverse. So I don't think I sent it to the two new folks, but my ask of you is that in your circles, if you could push that survey out. And again, if we're trying to get the ability to filter, we need that data in there. So we have tried on our end all the methods that we have. We put it in our newsletters, our e-newsletters, there's posters around town. It's been on social media, it will continue to be on social media. We have the whole month of April. So again, the purpose of having a survey that asks people these questions is to have them answer it. So that's, but it is going well. People are being very frank. And most of the questions involve an open-ended component to them, and they're telling us what they think. So, so the data will be useful. It will be useful. So, and we have at least, I think the mobility study had the most. It had more than 300, almost 400, I think, answered. The community engagement was well over 300. The last time I checked was yesterday. I did not check today. And the resilience. So that's what we would think of as environmental sustainability. Some environmental or economic development type stuff that had more than 300 as well. So so we're getting a lot. We're well over 4,000 impressions from the start of the comp plan between the original surveys. For those of you who weren't here at the time, the consultant and staff actually went out into the community. So it isn't just like we're sending out a bunch of links and asking people to respond. They went to July 4th, they went to the car show, they went to the artist market, the Rock the Block with public safety. So again, the goal is really to try to get to everybody as best we can. So your part in that is the people you know and your circles and your ability to get feedback. So that's all I want to illuminate on that.
Can I ask a quick question? So thank you for the numbers. And who is mining all this data?
We're using a program, a platform called Social Pinpoint, and it comes in through there, and then it's able to be exported into spreadsheets. Okay. So team lead, the staff lead on that is Ian McNees, and he's working directly with consultants at Pashik MTR, and they are keeping an eye on it. So,
and do you know? So, two more questions. So, do you know if the data is going to be? Are we going to be able to see representation of respondents per ward?
Yes, you actually. So. Just to back up, if you go to that Ascend Lebo, you can actually look and see everything that's been done to date with the exception of these 3 new surveys. So that is all available on there. But yes, one of the questions is by ward and it will be sortable by that.
Okay.
And as well as by any of the other.
Well, not everybody knows their ward. That's a.
Well, they don't need to say, they just need to
Neighborhood.
but there's a link to the ward map, so.
Yeah, no, as long as they check, I'm just warning because
It's pretty even. I think there was one word that was slightly down, but by just maybe tens of people.
Okay.
So there's no disparity because I did check that pie chart.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is a little bit more females than males, but we tend to find that with surveys. Come on, guys, I don't know what it is. Females are just more likely to. You think?
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know.
Spout off.
The age range is pretty good. We do have a good number of people over 65. You know, you always want to make sure that the senior citizens are weighing in because there's at least a perception that they may not be as computer literate. We do not really find that in Mount Lebanon. The income is a little higher than I would have thought, or people are just saying, yeah, I'll make the highest amount. So that was one thing that kind of jumped out at me. I'm like, well, okay. But I am not seeing a whole lot of the gender diversity and the racial diversity that is out there that we need to, but there are a large number of prefer not to answer. So we don't know if they don't feel comfortable answering that question. They truly don't feel it's our business because we are the government asking, or they're just private people.
Just to work around that, my recommendation later will be to run focus groups, inviting people, giving some sort of incentives for them to attend, where we have the qualitative and the quantitative, just in case the answers are not fully there from the surveys, which is, I think, so far so good.
Correct. Yes. There is a 9 focus group component of this project as well. 9 different focus groups.
Oh,
actually,
there are
3
focus groups. Okay.
Yes, I didn't mention that before, so that was my fault. And then there were also a bunch of steering committees through the way. So like they started with some community leaders and then broke that out into people from the PTA.
So this is a paid engagement for the consultancy working with us? Okay.
Oh yeah, $135,000.
Yeah. It's not cheap.
And that's standard. I mean, we did that in the previous 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's right.
It gives credibility to it too, because you know when you're doing a comprehensive plan, if you don't want the internal people doing it, saying, "Yep, this is what we think." We want to make sure
third parties, a third party, yes.
So the biggest thing on my plate that involves all of you is the new municipal website. So that will be launching on May 30th. We completely gutted the website. I presented to the commission last night and I called it like we Marie Kondo'd the whole thing. It's 26 years old. So there's things on there that we put on there because we could and it was nice to have, but it's cluttered everything up and now we can't find anything. Nobody can find anything. It's the biggest complaint we hear. It's not accessible and nobody can find it. So hundreds and hundreds of pages going through looking, putting things where they belong. Right now our wood chips are under recreation programs because you pick them up at the golf course. Makes no sense. Nobody's going to go into recreation programs. So it's been a couple of years. We tried to start this in 2019, fits and starts, pandemic. You get the drift. So May 30th, it'll be launched. So I'm looking for your feedback. Again, we are running it through several accessibility channels. So it will be able to be, the screen colors will be able to be changed. It'll be able to be read in different languages. It'll be able to be read for people who are have any type of challenges with consuming websites. So we're pretty proud of it, but it will not be done. It will continue to be built upon. The vision is that we hope in the near future, you'll be able to go in and type in your address and it'll bring up your trash day, your commissioner, meetings that might apply to you, recreation programs that might apply to your kids' ages, all sorts of customized communication. So that you won't have to go looking for things that comes to you. So that's our vision. So there's that, our June issue of the magazine now will be the story about the Turkish immigrant program. So again, that hookup, I appreciate it. Junior commissioner and junior board member positions are open now on the website. If you go to mountlebanon.org and go to trending now, again, we are looking for all manner of engaged kids, again, encouraging diversity in those applications. So if you know somebody who might be good for it, all they have to do is apply online and then send me a letter of recommendation. And then the commission makes those appointments.
Do you have to be a senior? Or
to be a junior commissioner, you have to be a rising junior or senior. But I tell you, if they get a bunch, they tend to go toward the senior just because the junior has more time. But juniors have served before. You can be younger for the junior board member. For the junior commissioners, they need to be Mount Lebanon High School students because they're looking for that interaction with the student council. But for the junior board members, they can attend any school or homeschool. I think that's all I had. That wasn't already tied into something else.
Before we move on, I wanted to touch base, Laura, about the promotional strategy for the survey. I understand that very much that Mount Lebanon is doing all that we can, and I know as far as reaching out to our networks, I kind of wanted to touch base and to see what, if anything, we can do to reach out to those networks. Are we allowed to go door to door and solicit responses from our neighbors on behalf of the Community Relations Board? Is that, or would we be doing that as private citizens? Or I'm just trying to understand if I were / when I go to neighbors and try to get them to fill out this survey, what capacity can I do that?
I think that's fine. Nobody has ever asked that. I don't see any reason why there would be any prohibition on that. You are an appointed member of the board. You represent the board. You can act as a member of the board. I would just take your personal safety into consideration and don't like trip over somebody's wall or something. And you know what I mean? Or if there are females doing it, just, you know, again, be careful of your surroundings. So, but other than that, that sounds great.
Great.
I also think that to your point, 10 years would be like, this is the planning for 10 years. So a basic QR code, a banner, and a message like help us build the community that, you know, that is going to be in place, something simple.
So if you look at the posters right there.
Yeah.
We have many of those that we can give you to hand out to if you like.
Awesome. But on the streets or, you know, something like the business, put it outside the walking places.
Yes, they should be in town. They're at all the municipal buildings. We've given them out to some other volunteers, and the consultant actually has business cards, thousands of business cards. So when they're in the community, they're giving out those business cards that has the QR code on it as well. So if you would like some of those, let me know and I can get you some.
I think, you know, Adam, to your point, I think it warrants a campaign, like a canvassing in the way type of, let's get some responses. Do we have a threshold? Do they recommend a threshold for statistic validity?
No, as many as possible. The more you get, the more valid it is. It's already statistically valid just because we have had such a very large response. We have 34,000 residents and 20% of them are under age 18. So not that we discount what they're thinking, but statistically we tend to go with the adults. So we have a good sample, but more is always better.
Yeah, but I mean,
are those posters, are they at the library?
It should be.
We have some at the library. If you mean, can you grab some to take with you? Ian McMeans is the person to talk to about that, or Laura can get it.
Got it. Thank you.
And I think if we use our personal, if we use our personal networks and invite people that we talk to expand the circle of their personal networks, that's another way to help get the word out, especially if we have contact with segments of our community that are not necessarily represented in what Laura's already told us about. So.
And there certainly is absolutely no prohibition on you helping somebody fill out a survey. We know you're ethical people or you wouldn't be here. So if somebody needs a physical assistance filling it out, feel free to do that.
Thank you. Robin?
Well, Anne did a lot of my work for me, so thank you. So thank you for promoting the library. I appreciate it more than you will ever know. The only thing I will add is we're mostly prepping for summer reading right now, but the most exciting thing on our horizon is the Colson Whitehead lecture series event, which is happening later this month. It is sold out. We filled Mellon Middle School auditorium, which is great, seats like 1,200 people. So we sold about 1,000 tickets, and we donated tickets to some of the local high schools so that they can send some of their classes to experience this. We didn't charge them for the tickets at all. And we have 2 of the members of the, I'm going to get the name wrong, the Black Student Caucus, I think it's called, at Mount Lebanon High School, will actually be introducing Mr. Whitehead. So this is a really exciting opportunity for those students and just for us, because we've never really had that kind of involvement with the school and this event before. So it's going to be a really exciting evening. And I am sorry if I got you all pumped up and you don't have tickets. You all have to go on inside the bubble or something and hope somebody's selling theirs.
On the municipal page, when we shared it, people were selling their tickets or giving their tickets away. They just were unable. I don't think anybody was doing like who needs to. I think they were literally attending.
And
$100 or I bid.
I won't belabor this anymore, but I do want to say it is incredibly expensive to bring someone like Colson Whitehead to our community. I mean, he first class travel all the way. If you are ever a best-selling author, you get the red carpet treatment. I'm not even kidding. But we do not use any municipal funds for this event. It is all donated and sponsorships. So and ticket sales. So all of that is making this event, this annual event, self-sustaining, and we're able to bring in these absolutely amazing authors. So that's all I have, Noah. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. And there's Colson Whitehead books all over my house right now because we're catching up on.
Great, and I think I said this last time too, but if you want to get an autographed copy, if you want to get something signed, you can go to the bookseller. They've been collecting Colson Whitehead books all year long, so they still have a few titles left. If you want to buy a book for a couple of bucks and get it signed after the event, there will also be books for sale at the event.
Great, thank you. Okay, so continuing business, the DEI initiative. Does anyone have anything to update right now?
I don't have anything to update. I just wanted to echo your sentiments earlier, Noah, in appreciation of Anne, of your work in helping to shepherd this to fruition in some way, because it's something that took a long time, and in a short amount of time you were able to get help move this along, and I very much appreciate your ability to bring people to the table and get things moving a little bit. So yeah, just wanted to make sure that was known, but it's like that the survey is moving forward.
Thank you.
You need to sit down and talk about the celebrations.
That was my question. I feel like we just keep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and the staff is pretty, I mean, the township's really buzzing right now, but I think, you know, at the very least, we could sit down and go through them, and some of them, it seems to me, had some easy add-ons that weren't huge, you know, redo, plan a huge celebration thing.
Something simple.
Start with some of those and then kind of do a timeline with Laura and Robin, you know, that what we might be able to do. So,
and I think we still don't quite have a clear understanding of like what the municipality can do and what they can't do. So just, I think that's an important piece.
Yeah, we can loop Keith in now that he's back from having had surgery, but you know, some of them were pretty simple. They weren't real. I mean, when I looked at them, Noah, you were really cool on that because you kind of opened my eyes about just some simple tweaks to make things a little more celebratory or out there or visible.
Well, and that document that we did, it had a lot of notes on there on things that we could even maybe even join with another municipal, you know,
another group
with another municipality. Yeah, I think city does a lot of those too.
I mean, we're rolling into another year, so I mean, one of the things that's held up, some of it is Vibrant Uptown. We really structure's done. It's hard to have events, but we need to start gearing up now because even this fall, maybe there's one or two that we could add something to. I don't know, but
are we doing First Fridays this year?
Yeah,
Okay.
June, July, and August.
Yeah.
So the next steps for that, how does this sound? I mean, we could have, I'd be happy to meet with Stephanie and Leah, and then Anne, would you be willing to be a part of that conversation? Sure. And then on the municipal side, I'm just, Anne, from experience, you were very good at bringing the right municipal staff people into the room for the survey. So who are the right people to bring into the room? I mean, I assume Laura is one of them.
Laura, Keith, Robin, and Eric. Eric. Oh God, how could I forget Eric? Yes, Eric.
Anyone.
Eric. How good anybody?
And Eric loves events.
Oh, he hates them.
But he's got good ideas. He's got great contacts.
Yeah, and he's very creative. I mean, again, I really felt like, well, you know, let's do at least some tweaking. You know, that will help, and then start really thinking about where we want to carry this going forward. But, you know, that just seemed. That old low
It's a
hanging
low, that's what I
fruit.
just say,
Let's
this
grab that
low-hanging
low-hanging
fruit that we can
Let's do
like
something.
just
Yeah.
get going.
And
So Anne, can you initiate a meeting? Are you?
I can't do that if you want. You want me to pull together a meeting or?
Yeah, that would be great. So from this from this body, me, Stephanie, and Leah. Yeah.
And Joelle. Put Joelle on it.
And Joelle, you want to be on it? Great. Okay, Joelle. Okay.
New member who I know is a big event person.
Great. Welcome aboard. Okay.
Fresh eyes always help. You know, that's
Yeah.
you haven't been overthinking it. Joelle may look down on it and go, well, you could do this and you could do that.
Does that.
Yeah. So.
Okay, Keith, Laura,
Speaking on events, just a quick parenthesis.
yeah,
There is an assumption for the Latino associations in Pittsburgh, and I founded one in 2009 that was part of the board for 10 years. I'm no longer there. But I know all the networking of, you know, those Latino associations. There is a perception that South Hills doesn't like to host Latino events.
really?
Yes. So they say, oh, you're crossing the bridge. How many? And then just here, there are 35 Brazilian families, just Brazilians alone.
My next door neighbor is Brazilian.
You need to introduce me.
See?
The potluck. And, you know,
You have to come over and drink.
so I was like 35 families. And, but, you know, I think it's a product of lack of engagement. It's not that they don't want it. It's not that they don't want to share, but it is, I think we have to tap into that and kind of bring the best out of what's happening in North Hills and East and City into the South Hills in general, which is not only people. It's South Hills as an overall. Just a small note on the Latino piece.
Yeah, no, that's helpful. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Olivia, I apologize if this is an ignorant question, but for the minutes, would you like me to use the word Latino or Latinx or?
Just use the word Latinx.
Okay.
The Mexicans will not like that. But the overall population is responding well to Latinx.
Thank you.
Okay.
Or Latine. Latine or Latinx.
Thank you.
That spelling is getting in the way right now. Can you see me going? How do I spell? There you go.
T-I-N-X.
Okay, I got the X, but. So.
And I'm sure some of you know that why Latinx is not necessarily, okay.
No, I don't know.
It's a brand of toilet in Mexico.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
didn't
it's
know
not,
that. Okay.
it has been seen by certain
Yes, as
groups as
sure.
another Anglo way of labeling things that they
Okay.
don't understand.
And of course, those dumb Anglos like me.
No,
don't
no.
know anything. No, I'm not,
We
I'm
need
not,
to-
I'm being self-deprecating, saying I'm gonna have no idea what a
How
Mexican
many
toilet
people
was.
really know
Yeah.
all the brands out there, right?
Right.
Who-
Yeah.
But anyway, so Latine or Latinx has
Okay.
evolved from that early stage
Okay.
of
Got it.
concern and label.
So you're saying Latin with an E at the end? Latine or Latinx?
Latix, NX.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so that feels like we have some next steps there. Anything else on our DEI work right now?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So one of the things that was said too is that you could possibly partner with another municipality or another, is that, I mean, just knowing that there's a lot of, like you said, Latinx families in Dormont as well. My family being Puerto Rican, I did not know that there were that many Latinos on this side of the bridge. So, if that is possible, that would be very interesting to see.
Yeah. That's something.
Doing more and more with Dormont, Castle Shannon, et cetera. This is a little, okay, I'm gonna go into my built environment mode. Talking about roads, talking about bicycling, talking about sidewalks. So we've really formed I would say what I think is a good partnership to be talking about these things, because it can't, Mount Lebanon's the biggest of all of these South Hills communities. Maybe Bethel Park is bigger, but we're really, okay, we are the biggest. But that doesn't really mean anything if you're coming to the South Hills, you don't know where the borders are.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of silly. So we're really trying to think in a much more holistic way for the whole 19 South Corridor. Okay. Really maybe up to Upper St. Clair at the moment. We're more focused inward and then moving on outward. And then, yeah.
And it feels like there's a concentration on the T line too, because going through the whole Brook line,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of,
you're right. And it's the older community aspect of it too. I mean, we are more walkable. We do have more sidewalks. Upper St. Clair, it's not the way that they're formed.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just a more natural pulling together, I guess. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's would be very welcome. The more the merrier, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, Jerome, one thing that would be, I don't know if you want to take this on as a project, just a suggestion, is there an equivalent body in surrounding communities to the CRB? I mean, to like just research it, because then, I mean, we could have a conversation with.
I'd love to do that. I'll absolutely do that.
Okay.
I think that's one of the things too that would really help from a sustainability perspective in sharing the load of events, so that while we'd love Mount Lebanon to be able to put on an event to celebrate everything, we know that that's not necessarily feasible, and that joining with and supporting and promoting events that neighboring communities have, I think would be a really good way to maintain the sustainability of promoting DEI related events. So yeah, I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah, definitely. Love to do it.
Norma had a really great Pride event last year. I don't know who that on, but it was Potomac was closed. It was really a great event.
It's similar to, it's in the same as Depot Pride, I think.
Yeah.
And that's called Dormont Spark or something.
But yeah, that breaking down barriers is all what DEI work is about, and some of them are these barriers that we've set up over government lines. So
I'm part of the Pittsburgh Hispanic Chamber, and I can bring their calendars. I think we can bring calendars of what's happening in the city, and just like make it available so you can look at what makes sense, what we can support, what we can just encourage people to go. You know, so maybe just bringing that information in first will be a good step. What do you think, Noah?
absolutely. I mean, I think, as we, talk about events, we should be aware of what the surrounding communities are, because there's some events that are probably going to be really important for Mount Lebanon to have its own thing. And there's also things where we can either support or work together with surrounding communities. So.
And I will bring the agenda as well, because, we passed the phase of only celebration. What is your goal for this year? Their structure, their after goal. So knowing their interest and what they're driving also, I think, would mean as much as just knowing what the parties they have to schedule. So.
Hey, and we all have reply all to our email list, so you can just share it.
I will share the goods.
Yeah. So. So the CRB magazine column, Laura, for the new members, can you share, like, in a few sentences what the column is?
It's called Unity in the Community, and it was started years ago by the Community Relations Board. There was a journalist on the board, and he would write something every other month, usually finding a family to profile or an issue. And then he kind of ran out of ideas, and the board kind of lost some momentum. So in the DEI work, it was decided to bring that column back. We brought it back, but again, kind of a similar thing happened where there were definitely things to be covered in the magazine as a whole. Many of them would need more space than that column would provide. I mean, why take something and chop it down to a small column when we could do a feature on it? So, so the trending in the last couple of, I would say the last year or so, is really just to go in a more diverse direction for the magazine as a whole, as opposed to trying to put it in a column. Did I explain that well?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I mean, that was one of the things I'm excited about too, when we did our introductions that I missed, was that I feel like the magazine's doing a nice job of really, there was the article in the Ukraine. I love the article by the young boy about his sister who's autistic. Yeah, there's just, yeah, I mean, it's really substantive and interesting and shows.
This board has been instrumental in bringing some of those contexts to us. I've kind of, you know, hammered it into the heads of the other members, but for the new people, you know, we know who we know, right? And if we're trying to get more diverse and we're trying to meet more people, knowing more people helps. And then having a friend who can kind of convince people that being in the magazine is a good thing. Sometimes people feel self-conscious. They don't want to necessarily, all right, do I have to represent my entire race? That's not fair. But if they have a friend who says, look, we want people like you opening the magazine and seeing themselves in it, it's important to us. That representation is important. So that's why we asked for your help and your assistance. Noah has some connections with the Turkish community and was able to hook us up. Stephanie got us in with some families and some people who had connections in Ukraine, and we did a nice piece on Ukraine, but it was all because we had assistance. So that's kind of my ask of you, is to keep bringing us those ideas, keep bringing us those connections. And if you have a person you think would be great, and it may be,
I'll send you right
I was gonna, Livia, having 35 Brazilian families, that would be an
awesome story, right? We did have, before COVID, there's a rotating, like a traveling women's group. And it grew so much to a point that we had to kind of, let's pace ourselves, because it was like over 40 people.
Wow.
Yes. So, but I will share first and foremost, I think the first family that I will share with you, but if the family is not Brazilian, it's a Argentinian Haitian family. And they have 3 kids in Mount Lebanon, and Argentina won the World Cup last year, and I have beautiful photos and the way that they celebrate the culture to me after all these years.
Yeah, well, great.
They will be great.
Yeah.
And they're so loving, so well known and care for the community. So that's definitely a family that I would nominate.
That and then Brazilian family.
I'll bring
that would be great.
Yeah, I'll think about a few good ones.
I have to go to another meeting, I'm sorry, but it's campaign.
Great.
Yes, good luck.
You know, to be
Thank you, Anne. So anyway, so we should all be thinking about imagining possible magazine articles and send Laura information on that. So, citizens mediations, Margaret, do you want to give us an update?
Yes, basically right now there's just one pending, and like I said, I'll probably expect more with the nice weather. And if any of our new members have any interest in helping with the mediations, basically you just need to take a 6-hour online course regarding this. And it probably helps to have some, whether it's legal or negotiating background, but just some people just enjoy this. It really isn't very technical. So that's something you're interested in, feel free to reach out to me, Margaret Izzo. And by any chance, is the Citizen of the Year award next?
Yes.
Okay, so our 3-person committee met on that, and we had just so many outstanding applicants, so it's really hard to make a decision. But we did make a final decision, so we gave that information to Laura, and then the citizen will be featured in an upcoming Mount Lebanon Magazine article. So if anybody else who's on the committee has anything to add, feel free and go ahead.
It was difficult. I think it was difficult to choose because we had so many good nominees. We took a little bit longer to interview nominators so we could have a picture of the impact. And I think, for those that did not get the award, I believe there'll be something in the magazine for them. I'm not sure if this is official or not, but my understanding is that next year they will still be eligible to win the award. So that brings me a little bit more, okay. Next year there'll be contenders because we had over 12. I believe.
Yeah. We had 12. Yeah.
And I think I'm very happy with I don't, it's my first time around, so I'd like to understand what that looks like. Is that a ceremony? Is that we should put together something?
There's a couple facets to it. The magazine articles that make public acknowledgement of it. There also is a plaque upstairs that I was going to hit one of you up. Somebody from the board will take that and have that engraved. Okay. So outside the manager's office, there's a plaque of all of the names on there. But the ceremony is every even year we call it casually the Boards and Authorities Dinner, and it is a recognition dinner for all of the volunteers on the municipal boards and authorities. And it's just a way to thank them. It's just a nice dinner. It's a good networking opportunity because, you know, you meet your group, but maybe you don't necessarily meet people on the traffic board or the economic development board. And at that dinner, there's recognition of the 2 winners, because again, we do it every other year. And somebody from the community relations board will get up and give a speech on why this person was chosen. And then they're allowed to come out and say a few words. So there will be this person, and then who's ever selected next year. Next year, I will be a little bit more on you because we will need to have the name sooner in the year because the dinner is usually in April. So we need to make sure that person can attend. Yeah. And so yeah, so it'll be a little accelerated next year, but that's important.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. And then Residence Academy.
I can probably drop that off the agenda.
Okay.
If that's, I think we're pretty much.
I was just going to say, I dropped the ball. I need to put together just a summary of the survey feedback that we had. I fully intended to have that today, but I don't. So I can quickly talk about it at the next meeting if you want, unless you want to put it off. I mean,
leave it on.
You know, it was very, Dallas mentioned she was part of it. It was really awesome. The feedback overall is really great. Main thing is people want to have a little more social interaction during the Residence Academy, but talk more about that.
And thank you for that work of compiling all those feedback forms. Is there any new business? Anything else anyone has to add?
I have one thing. I just
go ahead.
Made a note. Is there onboarding? Remember when we started, we had a little onboarding, or have we already? Has that already been addressed?
I think we need to do that.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we don't lose sight of that.
Yeah, so, we Pam and I put together some documents.
Yeah, so when we started, we went through did a little thing.
Who Pam or Kathy?
It was Pam and I that did it.
I don't have it.
I mean, I have this.
I can look through it. I can look through them.
I don't know. Just
Leah, can you send it? Can you send that out?
Yeah.
Okay. Send it out to everyone. And Robin, is the SharePoint site does it get updated? I mean, does anyone use it? I logged in the other day. I don't think I logged in, since we were first sent.
I actually think those documents are on that onboard and on that website. Okay. I'll check.
They are. I will make more of an effort to regularly update that, but because no one ever uses it and because I email you all everything, I tend to forget about it, but it's good practice for a municipal board for us to be using the official channel
records for the associations in the SharePoint.
Thank you.
So when we talk, David and Joelle, let's talk about onboarding as part of that, and then we can probably do maybe like before the next meeting, have a small group sit down with you two and sort of go through some board things. I need to get onboarded myself as a chair too, so in a month we can have some more of that information. How's that sound?
The important thing to remember, and I know that all of you that have been on know this, but we have to keep any subcommittee meetings under 5 people or less, so we don't have a quorum issue. We have 10 members now, not 11, but 6 is still our quorum number.
Okay, so you'll be onboarded with less than 5 people, or less than 3 other people. So
videos of past meetings today. Like, what do I need to do? What do I wear? I mean, anything. So it's good. I was relieved that I was glad to see that.
That was helpful.
And there was a really good article in the magazine the last year about the CRB and the DEI work. Do you remember what month that was, Laura?
Oh boy, I don't, but if you go to lebomag.com and then type in Community Relations Board, that's the magazine website that will come up. But if you also go to mountlebanon.org and you go under Contact Us, there's a Community Relations Board page that has a lot of the historical documents on there as well. So those are the
December, January, I believe, because I was
that sounds
away.
right. See, we're working on June now, so I don't even know what day it is.
Title of the story is Stronger Together, and it was in November 20.
Oh, December. If that was the story you're talking about, yes, it was December. It's a finalist for a Golden Quill. We had 12 finalists for the Golden Quill Awards from the magazine, and that was one of them. So.
Yes, congratulations.
Yes, except
Great.
we're competing against Pittsburgh Quarterly has a 4-part series on the blight in Wilkinsburg, so it's not going to win. There's no way it's going to win. I'm telling you right now, the Pittsburgh Quarterly is the best of the best. We can't even come close. So I'm not getting my hopes up, but.
Well, thank you. And so we've completed the agenda, so I'm going to declare us adjourned. Thank you.
Great job, Noah.
All right, thanks.
All of the new officers.
Yes. I'm sorry I couldn't meet you all in person today. I'm in our nation's capital for work, but I will be there. I will do my best to be there for the next one, depending on when my wife goes into labor.
All right.
Bye all.
Bye.